Internet, and welcome to the Collective Arcana. We're a channel all about tabletop gaming, and sort of continuing our Dungeon Master 101. This is our next video in the series. Why don't you tell them what we're doing today?
Okay, so we weren't sure what to do about, the first one shot. We decided we should just do a starter kit from, just the 5e,
It's a starter kit, and it's billed as, I've never used one before, but it's billed as and I don't know why we didn't think about it sooner, but it's billed as a great way to start in the hobby. It's, it should be your first step, and I really do, now that it's back in my mind and I'm thinking about it, I really do recommend it's a great place to start. I've heard nothing but good things, but I've never actually seen it before, so it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, it's literally, we didn't look at it because we wanted to open it with you. We did actually go to some bookstores and stuff to see if we could find like a one-shot deal. We didn't have any luck.
Well, the only thing that we were able to find, and I'm sure people probably noticed in the last video if you watched that I had a bit of a misconception about adventures. I was used to seeing the little thin, sort of almost magazine-like ones from back in the day. Like I said, I haven't played with them a lot. It seems like at least for 5th edition, I know Pathfinder still does some of the smaller ones, but at least for 5th edition, they're all player's handbook sized tomes. They're all, full-sized hardcovers. Whereas I think Pathfinder does still make some little magazine sized ones, the smaller ones.
And you can for sure get some PDFs, but we wanted something tangible for the video.
And they're not bad. They seem like all of them that we saw take you from at least level 1 to 10. I mean, that's half a campaign. Yeah. If you think about the amount of time you're going to get out of that. It's a good value. It just wasn't what we were looking for with this.
Yeah, and this is fine too because I think everyone has access to this because we just went to Borders.
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble. We tried to go to a couple of different places.
Yeah, we tried half price books just to see if we could find adventures there. We really, until we went into Barnes and Noble looking, it just had fallen out of my head, honestly.
And they didn't have the new one, the Essentials.
Yes, the Essentials kit, which just a quick preface there. It's the newer version of the starter set. They fixed a few things that, some streamlined some things and fixed some things, but it's not the same adventure. My understanding is you get the starter set and you get the Essentials kit, and it's just giving you a whole lot more adventure to play with. Yeah, they complement each other really well. It's not a one or the other thing, although you definitely can. You don't need one if you have the other one, but they do complement each other well if and for the price point, it's not bad.
So let's crack this sucker open.
Yeah.
So I think we saw on the back that it was like levels 1 through 5 or something.
Yes. So this, some new dice.
I don't have.
Oh, those are actually really nice looking.
I don't have any blue dice like this.
I was expecting them to just be like sort of the clearer ones.
Yeah.
And
I have a dice problem.
She does, yeah. Looks like it's a set of 6 instead of 7. If you buy dice sets, you're usually going to see 7 dice, but you don't really need 2 D10s, so they just added 1 D10 in here. Okay, so here's the starter set rule book. It looks like this is just sort of a quick
kind
and
of what
dirty.
you were expecting when you said like magazine size.
I think that's what this adventure is. Yeah, that's the adventure. Yeah, this is really what I thought. Like you said, this is what I was expecting when we went looking for adventures, something like that.
Okay.
But this is so this is telling you about the character or the rules of the game.
So it's like a mini DM.
Yeah, it's a little bitty DM guide. I'm
seeing things that say like casting spell, what's a short rest.
It's got a list of some of the low-level spells they expect you to use.
Okay, cool. So you could look through this front to back, and it's sort of like a small version of the DM guide. All you'll need for this.
And the player's handbook as well. It looks like again,
that's manageable.
Yes,
that's great for
it really is. I mean, this
is a lot less intimidating for me.
I mean, we bought traditional board games that have
way more
books.
And so here's the actual
adventure.
Story. Yeah, the adventure. It's got an index on the back, which is handy. So I guess. Oh, it looks like there are different rooms listed here. There's a map.
Yeah, because when the...
Okay. What I'll probably do is actually read through this and kind of tell you guys like what it's about, but it looks like it's locations, and it tells you about the locations. Does it tell you like what monsters are in each one?
I think it does.
This is pretty cool. I've never seen this side of the screen before. It's gonna be weird. And then it looks like they have some character sheets.
Yeah, okay, so just to interrupt a little bit here, I was wondering how they did it, and you can see sort of like what you'd think, almost like a choose your own adventure. They have a lot of if and or type statements here, and telling you, where to go or what to do if this happens. Sort of what you expected. Again, I don't have a lot of experience with these, so this is pretty new to me too.
I thought it came with a map, but it doesn't.
Well, it does come with smaller maps. Like within, you'd have to.
Like in here?
Yeah,
But you
and
can't
I don't want to spoil or anything, but yeah, no, you can't play on them. But these are pretty classic D&D style maps where, the expectation is that you could play with like
Just a grid.
you can just get a checkerboard. For those of you out there wondering,
Maybe that's what I'll do for my one shot. I won't use any of our fancy dungeon tiles, and I'll just use like the grid.
Yeah.
So that we can see what it actually looks like.
Yeah. So anyway.
Sorry, she's a Siamese cat, so she talks a lot.
She's very talkative.
And the only way to make her stop talking is to hold her. So what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying, you don't have to worry about fancy maps and tokens. Go to the dollar store, get a checkerboard, chessboard set. You can find them.
Monopoly pieces.
Yeah, Monopoly pieces are fine, but the checkerboard is good because that's your grid.
Yeah.
And then you take a few of the black pieces, say, put a mark of color on them to represent each of your player characters, and then just all the other red ones, just tell your players what they represent. And you don't actually have to have the big fancy minis. They're fun. I like them, but that's a great way.
You didn't have them for
a long
until
time.
about a year ago, and you've been playing for over a decade.
Yeah, I just I'd use just little tokens and stuff my whole life, and then just sort of decided to jump in and have a lot of fun.
Lego minis?
Yeah, I use some Lego minis, and I've used things like little dice, a lot of board game tokens.
Like little tokens.
Yeah, I drew little tokens. We'll probably do a video on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a checkerboard, that's your inch grid, and then just anything you can use to mark tokens. So you don't really need like a big fancy map or character tokens like that.
So these are pre-filled out character sheets.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so I got a fighter and a wizard, and you have what?
I have a rogue, and I have a cleric, and I have a fighter.
So, and it has like the background, the alignment, the race, all that's all filled out. It looks like all the stats are filled out.
Yep, looks like the
Armor
stats
class,
are
like
there.
basically these character sheets are already filled out. That is so cool for a first time group, especially. If you add new players, I mean, it's got personality traits. Like this is actually way more than I thought they were going to provide.
Yeah, and I'll say this, really nice thick paper.
Yeah,
this is great as well. It's got all of the write-outs for all of your actual abilities.
Yeah, it does, and it says like,
oh wow, that's cool.
yeah, like on the personality traits for fighter, for an example, it says, when I set my mind to something, I follow through. Also, I use long words in an attempt to sound smarter. Your character who has that now has a personality to go with. Like they don't have to make up stuff. Like they can just focus on the actual game. Like that takes so much pressure off.
Yeah, they've got some fluff here about this rogue is a halfling rogue. They've got some fluff about being a halfling. They've got some sample male and female names and family names.
That's so cool.
They tell you about the rogue. They tell you about your background. You even have a personal goal. And then over here, they tell you about gaining levels, and they just tell you what you'll gain each level. Up to level 5, it looks like. Yeah.
This is really a lot more than This makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
You could also you could throw these out and use your own character sheets, of course. But I know that a lot of people who are DMing for the first time, their players haven't played either. Especially the ones I've talked to. I've talked to several now, several of my friends and stuff who want to try this, and they're like, I can't even get a group together, let alone find a DM. So this is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, everything's ready to go. You know, we talked before about, maybe you can just say, yeah, let's play Friday night, and everybody shows up and you play. With this, you actually could. So
Yeah, you don't have to have a ground zero.
Yeah, I mean, still, read ahead on your adventure book as the DM. But yeah, I mean, everything, that's great. You can present this and tell them, hey, we're going to try it out. There's other options we have, things you might discuss at the session 0, but let's just play this one as it comes in the book and see how it goes and see what we like and what we don't like. I mean, it really does seem like it's everything you need to play.
I rolled an 8. I'm the DM though, so I get advantage. I rolled a 1. Okay, universe. This is a lot better than I expected. Also, it was $20, which, considering you get, the dice and the books and all this stuff, I mean, that's a really good starter set, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
You could probably run more than one game off of this.
Yeah,
and
and
it goes up to level 5.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know necessarily that this adventure would go that far. I think it might.
I guess it depends on how you run it too.
Yeah, I mean, it looks to me like they've got 4 different parts to the story, so theoretically you could pace that out to get somebody to level 5, and then of course after level 5, hopefully everybody had a great time.
Yeah.
And now it no longer seems so daunting to spend money on $150 worth of books. But again, and I think I mentioned it before, but 5th edition, where it's so popular, there's always sales. So keep an eye out. You can see the whole core set for $80 sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, used ones too.
Oh yeah, used ones as well.
This is a really great way to just try it and decide if D&D is for you or not.
Yeah, I feel.
Or if DMing is for you or not.
Yeah, that's the other great thing about this is, if you've never DM'd, like you said, if you've never run a game at all or been part of a game, of course, but if you've never DM'd, this is a great way to just test it out. Say, hey guys, I'm going to run the starter set. Let's see how it goes. Even if you already have a DM, and I trust me, he would love a night off to be a player most likely. Once in a while, we get a little bored sometimes long term, but once in a while.
We'll see if I invite you to my game.
I wouldn't invite me.
And then after I run this or whatever, I'm gonna give this to my nephew so that I can bring him in.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a great gift.
My sister's gonna be really happy about that.
Oh, we can include some illustrations.
Yeah. So you can pass it down if you decide to move on.
Yeah. So anyway, we haven't actually run it yet and played it, but I do feel like this is the sort of thing, almost like a Call of Cthulhu type thing, that if you have friends that are just sort of into board games in general, this is a nice, low-key, non-threatening way to get them into the hobby. Just presented as a nightly board game kind of thing.
Yeah, and give them a copy of their character sheet beforehand. They can kind of go over it and decide what the personality is. It's all on there for you, so.
I'm very interested in this book.
I am too.
What if I've been doing it wrong the whole time?
You can't do D&D wrong.
That's true.
Anyway, this is, I'm happy, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm nervous, but I'm less nervous, and I'm really glad that we ended up with the starter set.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm not going to read this.
You don't read it until
after. Yeah, because I want to play. I want to be.
Okay.
I'm going to put in an application to be in your game.
You have to audition.
I think I'm up to it.
You better not backseat DM.
No. Listen. Don't backseat DM. I was guilty of it for a long time.
I'm going to have it on camera, so if he does, there will be a record.
Chad, I'm sorry. I used to be a terrible player.
You're not doing well in your application right now.
I've gotten better.
All right, so that was, I guess, part 2 of how to DM 101.
Yeah, a little shorter. We just wanted to show you our new prize and show you what we got. And we'll probably go more in depth with it as we continue. But
I might actually do the next video without you. And then I won't post it until we play. So you can't cheat.
Well, I think there's probably going to be a couple more videos before then, but I don't know. I mean, maybe this is everything we need.
I mean the video where I go over what's in there.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to you guys about it and we won't let
Well, you can just post it and I won't watch it. I won't watch it.
He's going to watch it.
I won't watch it.
I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so if you subscribe, then you'll be able to see when the next video comes out. So wish me luck.
All right. So I think you can do this.
I guess we're going to find out together.
All right. Well, thanks for coming and spending some time with us. Welcome to the collective. And we'll see you next time.